Hi, welcome to the techno label Detroit, Berlin. This is my modular setup of 2021, and today I'm going to give you a walkthrough of how it is set up and which module makes what sound. So let's jump into it. We'll be uploading many new videos in the coming weeks and months. So yeah, please join us, and I hope you have a good time and learn some things. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you're always welcome, and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. So let's just jump into the modular. At the lower left we have the mixer section. Every sound that's produced by the modular goes into the mixer. Every channel is output through this VMD DB25. I have a snake cable to put all these outputs to my mixing desk. Now I'm using the stereo out, but when I'm recording live sets I can multi-track my whole system, so that's very nice. The brain of the whole system that triggers everything and sends a little bit of CV and other triggers is the Eureka Synths drum sequencer. It's controlling everything, it's muting everything that I want to mute instantly, and I can do things on the fly. So this is, the whole system is set up a little bit like a drum machine. So that was my intake on the new live rig of 2021. I wanted to be able to use this like a drum machine. So therefore the drum sequencer from Eureka Synths is the brain of the system. I have a compressor of WMD inserted on the mixer just to keep everything in control. Then we start with the drum modules. We have the BD909, which is a 909 drum module. Typical drum module, but it has that bottom end that I really like. Then we have the snare. And the special thing about the snare is, apart from that it's an awesome module, I run the ataraxic translatron from noise engineering into the input of the mutant snare. So instead of just the white noise or the pink noise, I have this 8-bit crushed game sound oscillator going into the snare, and it gives it a real apart, it gives it a different character. And it works really well in the set. Then we have the rim shot. Typical rim shot, but with a lot of control, so that's nice. The clap. So these are the first 4 voices, the drum voices, that are kind of typical, but with modulation options, so that's nice. Then the QD from vpme.de It's a nice module, but I'll need to load in some of my own samples to give some texture, to create ambient atmospheres that I want to do with this QD from vpme.de. Now, yeah, it's DFM drum synthesizer, but I can load in samples, so I will be doing this and I will be using it in a less rhythmical way. So let's skip this for now. Then the Dofer stereo mixer. Both hi-hats and cymbals from Erica synths are routed through this mixer just to be able to pan them, and yeah, because I didn't have enough audio inputs left in my performance mixer from WMD, so there's the Dofer mixer for its ideal, and it's a black version, so that's nice, just to keep everything yeah, nice and tight. The hi-hats from Erica synths. Hi-hats, a lot of modulation options in conjunction with the cymbals. It's yeah, really nice. The best thing about these two modules is I'm controlling them, I'm modulating them, especially the decays, with the Maleco voltage block, and this sounds like this. So it gives this moving character, and if we combine everything together, that's concerning all the drum modules. Now we'll take a look at what's actually making these techno sounds apart from the drums. I have three sections and they're as follows: Basimilus Iteritas with a filter and a Verbtronic from Pittsburgh Modular. Then I have this triple oscillator from Modcan, and yeah, it's in conjunction with the Pittsburgh filter and the Soma Lyra 8FX. And then I have a top section with a trigger sequencer and an analog sequencer from Dofer, and some modules from AO-Wave and a ripples filter from Mutable Instruments, and a color palette that gives some distortion in the end of the chain. First, let's go to the Basimilus Iteritas. Left of the Basimilus Iteritas, I don't know if you can see it, but there's the Zone BF from EO-Wave. It's a low frequency modulator, oscillator, two of them. They'll modulate and do some frequency modulation on various modules. I'll explain that in a bit. First, let's trigger the Basimilus Iteritas. Also the voltage block from Maleco the voltage block from Malico. It's modulating the attack, the decay, the pitch, and the filter, the Sarah VCF frequency. So I can do a lot of modulation on that particular sound. And let's see how that sounds. So that's that voice. Let's move over to the triple oscillator from Modcan. And I have 3 triggers for it. I have just the regular trigger. Then I have the dual ADSR from Intelligible, and it's triggered by those other 2 triggers. One is going to the pitch of the oscillator. So I have this percussive pitch change, and then the second one is going to the resonance, so I can modulate the peak of the resonance from the Pittsburgh filter, which the triple oscillator is run into, and the envelope generator from SDG Sound Labs. Yeah, that's controlling the filter frequency and the amplifier, which is an EOWave Germania VCA, which gives this crunchy sound if you distort it. I really like that. Going into the Lyra 8FX, which is a really weird delay distortion unit, so that's very nice. Let's take a moment to play with it. So that's really aggressive. Let's take a look at the top row, and then I think we're almost there. Analog / trigger sequencer from Dover. It's modulating the bass, the frequency of the bass, so the notes, and it's also modulating the mutant snare. So if we go back to the snare, that's modulating the decay. No, the analog trigger sequencer is modulating the pitch of the cutoff from the mutant snare. and also modulating the bass sound, which we'll take a look at right now. So that's one source. Then I also have like a little melody going on in the drum sequencer. That's that one. What I can do is add some voltage with the precision adder or subtract it. That's actually 1 octave, so that's very handy. And what I can also do is subtract the other melody going in. And then we have the Zone BF also modulating it, making it going really crazy. So it's freaking out everywhere, not always usable, but sometimes, yeah, it's nice to have. Okay, the voices are as follows. The Titan oscillator is a modulation source, and I think I didn't make it follow the pitch of the other ones, so it's kind of this really yeah, weird drone sound, but it's modulating, so yeah, it makes this frequency modulation on the other oscillators. It's routed to the pitch, to the sync of them, so I can actually with this switch multiples route different oscillators to syncs and yeah, apply them or disengage them. Then we have the Eurorag, the oscillator, the more complex oscillator of EOWave, and another oscillator, the Titan one from EOWave. Then a little mixer taking two oscillators and various waveforms in it. Then the envelope generator of EOWave, and then the ripples filter from Mutable Instruments, which is a really juicy 303 style, but with a lot of bass filter, and I think it's a very nice filter. Going to the Synclastic Empulatrix, which is actually just a AD, attack decay envelope generator. Then multiples for the AD envelope to route it to the color palette, to the filter, and the color palette is a high pass filter, a low pass filter, and some distortion. So if I apply it to the bassline, so this is soloed because I have two separate parallel audio routes, audio chains. And this is the one without, and combined gives this nice crunch. Without losing the bass, because I have those that ripples filter. So that was basically it. I have one more thing, and it's not actually a module, but it's something I made myself. It's this row, you can't see it that well, but it's actually like a multiple but a very wide one, and it's connecting all the clock signals to each other and all the reset signals to each other. So it's routed throughout the whole modular, and it makes everything run nicely in sync. I added a switch to it, which I can actually use to switch between an internal and an external clock. So I just need to flip the switch and everything is actually taking clock from or the drum sequencer from Erica Synths or the MIDI to sync interface from Dover. So that's actually very easy when there's someone who wants to jam with me. I just have this MIDI signal going in, this MIDI or this USB MIDI signal going in, and we're synced up. Just need to put the Erica Synths drum sequencer in external clock, and then the system is running in sync with whoever gives me a MIDI-in signal. So that's very nice when performing with multiple people. And if I'm not using that and I don't want to use other gear, I just use the sequencer, the drum sequencer, to control everything. It's very tactile. It's just this works like one device, and that's what I like about it. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the Grid sequencer, it's in here to mess around a little bit, but I will actually in the future, somewhere in the future, buy another Maleco voltage block and have it there to just add more live modulation. The thing is, it works wonders. Just let's take for instance this filter. So what I can do, so this is a little melody. Okay, nice. But this is just following everything else. Everything else is stopped, but okay. Now I can select the channel and select the length and make it like a polyrhythm, and then it's like really moving the whole thing, and it's very much more, it's more interesting this way. So it's alive, much more alive than it was before. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions or requests, just put them in the comment section down below, and I'll reply. I would say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next episode. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and click that bell button to be notified when upcoming episodes get published. Thanks for watching and hope to see you next time.